Let's take a look today at the circle tool. If you click on a point and drag it out, generally horizontally to start with, it will make up a circle. And again, you can either guesstimate the size of the circle you want, or the other option is to again use the area in the bottom right hand part of the picture where you can actually type the radius of the circle. So say for example we want a radius of this circle to be 1,000 millimeters. We type in 1,000 and press enter. And again, just to check that, go to our measuring tool, click there, out to that point, and you can see that it is 1,000 millimeters. If I zoom in to this circle, you'll notice that it's made up of individual segments. I'll go in a bit closer. Now, in this case, it looks a little bit rough. You can actually make the circle a lot smoother. If you highlight the outside edge of the circle, and this is something we'll go over again later on, and you go up to Window, and you go down, use the drop-down menu to Entity Info, it'll give you some of the details about the circle. Tells you what layer it's on. You can see there it's on, I'll move this into the center a bit, it's got a radius of 1,000 millimeters, which what we said, and it's broken up into 24 segments. So each one of these, there's 24 of those. Now if we want to make the circle smoother, all we need to do is increase the number of segments. It will make it a bigger file size, but it does make it smoother. So if I increase the segments and I just highlight it and I'll type in 80 and press enter, when I do that, you watch the outside edge of the circle and see how much smoother it becomes almost immediately. So instead of 24 reasonable sized segments, it's made up of 80 much smaller ones. So to the eye, it appears to be a lot clearer. Again, we'll look at the circle tool further on down the track. So we'll just get rid of that one again and go to the next one, which is the arc tool. This is slightly different, the arc tool, and again this is something we'll look at in more detail. There are 2 points required for an arc. So you click at one spot, you will drag along the green line, click on that point, and then we drag out. Sometimes it'll be horizontal, sometimes it will be vertical, and click, and you've made an arc between 2 points. You'll notice again the arc is not really that smooth, but as you did with the circle, you can do the same thing with the arc. If we click on that and go up to Window, Entity Info, you'll see this arc is made up of 12 segments, and we could probably count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. To make it smoother, we'll say, okay, we won't have 12 largish segments, we'll go for 60 small ones and press enter. And you can see now that our arc has become exceptionally smooth. Again, I won't dwell on the arc tool because we'll be coming back to that to use on numerous occasions. We have our polygon tool up the top, which to me looks like a triangle. You'll notice the one that I've got on my screen has got, if you can see them, 6 sides. I'll just click and take it out, make the polygon so it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can actually take control of that. Before you draw your polygon, when you select the tool, in other words you go up and click on it, down in the bottom corner you'll see that it tells you that it has 6 sides. So if you want to draw a triangle which has got 3 sides, you press 3 and enter, and you can see it changes to a triangle, like so, and you can draw a triangle. If you want to draw a, we'll say a 10-sided figure, you type in 10, press enter, and that's what it will draw, a figure with 10 sides. You'll notice, unlike the rectangle tool, this one goes from the centre out when you're making measurements. So wherever you click, that's going to be the centre point of it. You'll use this tool a fair bit because you can use it for all different shapes and sizes. So that's the polygon tool. The final one, which I suppose we don't use a great deal, it's something that the longer you've been using SketchUp, the more you will use it, and that is the freehand tool, which is this one here. So if I click on the freehand tool, what that does, and you can see there's a little squiggly line by the pencil. If you click on a point, which you need to do to start, you click and drag and you keep holding it down, right? You keep dragging and holding the tool down, and you can make some weird and wonderful shapes. In our next session, we'll be looking at some of the tools that help modify existing shapes. Just looking up the top of the interface, you've got the move tool, you've got the push pull tool, you've got the rotate tool, you've got the follow me tool, the scale tool, and the offset tool. So they're the ones we'll be looking at in the next session.